welcome. If you're joining us new for maybe the first time or you're new to our community, I would like to take just a second or two to introduce myself. My name is Diane. I am a fasting mindset coach. So let me just explain to you really quickly what that means. I really focus as a health and wellness coach for women on the mindset that we create about what it is we say that we want for ourselves. So we talk a lot about intermittent fasting here. We talk a lot about nutrition here. We talk a lot about reversing the signs of aging. And I always like to lead the conversation based on the decisions that we're making and why we're making that. So that's what we're going to be talking about more specifically today when we start talking about the 4 tips. And I have a bonus, so there's actually 5 to help you drop the weight for good. And again, we are going to focus primarily on the mindset that we have around the decisions that we're making, the emotional connection that we have to those decisions as well. So welcome. Okay, so let's go. 4 tips to help you drop the weight for good. First tip, the easiest and the most cost-effective way to really focus on losing weight that you're not happy with, especially if you're practicing an intermittent fasting lifestyle, is to increase how much time you are fasting. We know that fasting creates that healing environment for us. Fasting is where we reverse insulin resistance. Fasting is where we really have the opportunity to reverse a lot of the things that just simply over time have backed up on us and are causing us to age in a way that we're not happy with. We know all of the decision-making processes around feasting. We know all the confusion in the health and wellness community about what is right about feasting and what is wrong about feasting. And we have so many strangers and experts telling us what we as individuals are supposed to do, and we get confused and we get stressed out and we get discouraged and then we quit. So what I want you to really think about, especially if you're looking into intermittent fasting, is 1, consider increasing how much time you're spending in a fasting state, because that's where we heal the best. And then the other thing I want you to think about if you're considering intermittent fasting is how much trust and confidence do you have in what a fasted state could do for you? Because part of losing weight for good is, again, creating that mindset and that trusting relationship that we have with our body, and the fact that we trust that our body knows what to do and how to heal us and help us lose weight if we just move out of the way and let our body have that opportunity. So the easiest and most cost-effective way to lose weight for good is to simply increase how much time you spend in a fasted state and trust that your body knows what to do when it is fasting if you just move out of the way. The second tip that I have for you to help you lose the weight for good is, again, a super cost-effective way, is stop counting calories. I get so many messages in my inbox every single day with women wanting me to tell them how many calories they should be consuming in a day, or if the calories they're consuming is right for them. There is no one that can tell you as a woman how many calories that you need to consume in a day to lose weight, because no one knows. There are so many different factors that come into play with our body when it comes to losing weight, right? It has to do with sleep. It has to do with stress. It has to do with nutritional efficiencies. It has to do with the food choices that you're making. It has to do with how you're thinking and believing about how your body is going to heal itself. There are so many different factors that really have nothing to do with calories that will create a weight loss environment in your body. So please stop counting calories. If you are forcing food down your throat every day, chasing a caloric set point or boundary that you're hoping to achieve and the end result to be the weight loss, I promise you, you're overeating. You are overeating. And this is why so many of us are so frustrated with our body's inability to lose weight. Your body cannot lose weight if you're constantly feeding it and you're never allowing your body to have the opportunity to utilize what you already have in storage and what you're currently consuming in your feasting window. So please let go of this concept. It is not doing you any good. I promise you, it's keeping you in a holding pattern of frustration, and this serves zero purpose. The other thing we want to think about when we think about calories and counting them is that the type of food you're consuming matters more than the how much of the food that you're consuming. So not every calorie is created equal. And we have to remember that when we are in that mindset of counting calories or even burning calories, right? This means nothing. We have to think about the nutritional efficiency that we're providing for our body, right? The opportunity for our body to use things efficiently that we put in it. So stop counting calories is the second tip to help you lose the weight for good. It's just a bunch of mind energy that's going to serve you no purpose. The advice that I give instead of counting calories, so that I don't want you to just stop something and then offer you an alternative, is to really manage and balance out your hunger hormones and understand what the primary purpose of your hunger hormones are. Your hunger hormones being out of balance is why you're having such a hard time losing the weight in the first place, much less keeping it off forever. So if you understand what your hunger hormones job is and you understand what happens when these hormones are out of balance, this is the simplest way to understand how to lose the weight for good, right? So you're going to lose it initially and you're never going to let it come back because you're going to understand what your hormones are doing for you instead of doing against you. The third tip that I have to help you drop the weight for good. And remember, we're talking about the fasting mindset, or the mindset that we need to have and adopt when we're really trying to take care of ourselves, is get clear and honest about what you really want, right? Another one of the messages I get all the time from women is, I really want to lose weight, but I don't want to give up my wine. I don't want to give up my coffee creamer. I don't want to give up this. I don't want to give up this. And I don't want to give up this. So, if all of these things that you don't want to give up are more important than the end effect of you creating an environment in your body where it has the opportunity to lose weight, then what you really want is the wine, the coffee creamer, and all the other things that you're putting as a higher priority over you really wanting to lose weight. And so this is where a lot of women get really emotionally beat up about their inability to lose weight, because it's this constant struggle and constant feeling of failure and constant feeling of self-doubt and constant feeling of just generally not feeling good. And if we get clear and honest about what we really want, losing weight is super simple. It's very simple, because if you put your body as a high priority, if you put your happiness as a higher priority, if you put your health as a higher priority, losing weight will happen on its own. When we stop focusing on those things that we use to satisfy us in a short-lived moment, and we concentrate about what we want in the long term, what we really want is to be happy. What we really want is to be healthy. What we really want is to wake up every morning looking and feeling our best, and doing it in such a way that we can show up as our most authentic self. When you understand that those are the things that you probably really want, even more so than the coffee creamer and the wine and the pasta and all those other things that you're coveting so tightly, when those fall into a different priority in your life, losing weight happens on its own. You just move out of the way and you just enjoy your life, right? So we have to get clear and, more importantly, honest on what it is that we say we want. And I promise you, weight loss happens on its own, because your body does not want to be overweight. Your body does not want to be unhealthy. Your body does not want to be fatigued. Your body doesn't want to be depressed. Your body doesn't want all of those things. And so the signs and signals that it's sending you are the things that are weighing you down. If you get clear and honest about what you really want, the weight will go away, because it will be really simple for your body to do what its job is, and that's to keep you alive and to keep you healthy. Number 4, my fourth tip to help you drop the weight for good. Remember, we're talking about the mindset to lose weight, is focus on how you feel. Again, I talk all the time in this community about looking and feeling your best, and that your body is sending you signs and signals all day long that are letting you know when things are working for you based on the choices you're making and when things are working against you based on the choices that you're making. If you don't become very, very clear on what those signs and signals are, then I promise you the struggle to lose weight is going to be very real and it's going to be very exhausting. When you focus on, I do these things and I feel this way, and the feel this way are things that are good and energizing and empowering and exciting for you, and you do those things more often, again, your body's going to do what it's been designed to do, and it's going to let go of the weight that it's not comfortable holding. Your body's not comfortable holding extra weight either, which is why you're getting all of these signs and signals to do something different from what you're currently doing. The aim should be to wake up every single morning, plant our 2 feet on the ground, and not even think about it because it's such a natural thing for us because we do it so often. And that is that feeling of looking your best and, yes, feeling your best and doing it in an effortless way. It's just who you are and how you show up for yourself, putting yourself first, making those decisions that allow you to look and feel your best, right? So focus on how you feel when you do certain things. The more you feel amazing, the better the end result is going to be. If you keep doing things that don't feel good and you don't stop to question those, I promise you it's just going to be a matter of time before your body stops sending you those signs and signals and it just slowly starts to break down. And that's how we age unsuccessfully. That's how we age in a very sick way. We do not want to age in a sick way. We want to age successfully. So get really clear on how it is you feel when you're making certain decisions about the choices you're making for your lifestyle. And the bonus tip for today. So I gave you 4 tips on how to drop the weight for good. Here's your bonus tip. Identify and define what the weight really is. What is the weight that you are trying to lose? Is it really pounds on the scale? Is it really something that someone else has identified as a problem for you that doesn't even have anything to do with the life that you're living? To other people, if you were to scroll through my Facebook page or my Instagram page, physique wise, I look very the same. But there's a 20-pound difference in what I was in my 30s to what I am in my mid 50s. But physique wise, I'm very, very similar. That just goes to show us that what we really are chasing weight wise might not be the reality of the season of life that we're in. And trust me when I say that my 30s, 40s, and 50s, I also weighed in the 180s. I also weighed in the 200s when I was pregnant with my son. So I've also done this throughout the last 20 years as well, right? Where my weight has gone up and my weight has come down. What are you really, really trying to lose when you're so focused on that weight or that thing that shows up when you put your 2 feet on the device that tells us how much gravitational pull we have to this earth? That's really all that weight is. And what if we really focused on creating a happy life for ourselves? What if we really focused on creating consistency for ourselves? What if we really focused on what we see as a healthy version of ourselves for the future? Because trust me, if I focused on the weight that I was in my 30s before I had kids, before I was married, before I'm living the life that I'm living now, I would make myself absolutely miserable and slightly crazy trying to chase something that's not part of who I am as a woman today in my mid 50s. So identify and define what the weight really is that you're trying to get rid of. Is that realistic for the woman you are today? Is it realistic for you being happy in the skin that you're living in today? Is it realistic for you showing up as your most authentic self for yourself and for the people that you love and spend the most time with? I would be miserable. I would be crazy feeling. My family would be miserable. They would feel crazy if I tormented myself trying to chase something from 20 years ago that is no longer part of the woman that I am today. So make sure you're identifying and defining what this weight really is that's keeping you so unhappy and making you feel like you're constantly having to buy into someone else's idea of what it is that you should be weighing, whatever season of life you're in. When I talk to you guys here in this community about intermittent fasting or a keto-like lifestyle or learning how to train smart, it is always under the premise that I want you to look and feel your best and live your most authentic life, defined by you. What does you showing up, looking, and feeling your best mean for you? I can't promise you that you're going to lose a certain amount of weight. I can't promise you you're going to wear a certain pair of jeans. I don't even know what size jeans you're wearing today, right? So be careful with all of the tricky marketing tactics that are out there to get you to buy a diet program that will only last as long as you're willing to follow those rules by a T, right? And I've told you guys here before that I've done those things before myself. I always get really amazing results. I can get anyone here in this community to lose weight or change the way their physique looks by following any diet that's out there. You bring me a diet, tell me how much you want to change your body, and I promise you I can get you to make that happen for yourself. But I can only promise you that those results will stick for as long as you're willing to follow that for the exact same way that you did to lose or make the change in the beginning. As soon as you stop something that has worked for you, the results will go away. Everything we do here in this community is for our future self, for our tomorrows. We don't focus on the things that we had in the past because they probably weren't serving you very well anyway, right? So those are my 4 tips to drop the weight for good. Notice I talked mostly about thinking, right? I didn't talk about what you can and can't do. I didn't talk about what kind of food you're supposed to eat. I didn't talk about any of those things. I talked about how it is you're thinking about what it is you're chasing, what it is you're buying into, and then figure out why it is you're doing those things, and then create a lifestyle for yourself that will help you make that happen. Yes, I do teach a course on this. It's our Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course. I teach you how to understand how your body works from a chemical and hormonal standpoint so that you can really figure out what that weight is that you're trying to lose realistically while you're living a happy and healthy lifestyle, right? So we want to lose the weight for good, but we can't do it until we understand how our body is working.